Zorin OS versus Linux Mint. Which Linux distro should you choose? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are thinking about switching from Windows to Linux, or you're just curious about user-friendly distributions, you have probably come across two big names, Zorin OS and Linux Mint. Both are excellent, beginner-friendly options built on Ubuntu's stable foundation, and both aim to make the transition from Windows as smooth as possible. Today, we are doing a detailed head-to-head comparison covering installation, user interface, performance, features, software support, and more. By the end, you'll know which one fits your needs better. So, let's dive in. First, the background and philosophy. Linux Mint has been around since 2006 and is one of the most popular Linux distros for a reason. It focuses on stability, simplicity, and a classic desktop experience that feels immediately familiar to Windows users. The default Cinnamon desktop environment mimics the traditional Windows layout with a start menu, taskbar, and a system tray. Zorin OS, launched in 2009, is designed specifically as a gateway for Windows and macOS switchers. It uses a customized GNOME desktop with multiple pre-built layouts that can make your desktop look and feel like Windows 10 11, macOS, or even touch-friendly setups. The Pro version, one-time fee around $48, adds even more layouts and extra software. Both are free, with paid options for Zorin, privacy focused, and come with the long-term support, typically until 2029 for recent releases based on Ubuntu LTS. Now, about the installation and first impressions. Both use straightforward graphical installers similar to Ubuntu's. The process takes 5 to 15 minutes depending on your hardware. They detect hardware well, offer options for third-party drivers and codecs, and guide you through partitioning. Linux Mint feels straightforward and no nonsense. After installation, the Welcome app walks you through updates, drivers, and basic setup. Zorin OS shines with a more polished onboarding. It often prompts you about Windows app support right away and includes the Zorin Appearance tool for quick layout changes. So winner here, tie for ease, slight edge to Zorin for polish. Now about the user interface and customization. This is where the biggest differences show. Linux Mint with Cinnamon desktop environment. It's classic, functional, and highly customizable. It looks and works like older Windows version. Bottom panel, start menu with categories, applets for extensions. You can tweak almost everything like themes, panel layouts, displays, and more. It's practical and distraction free. Now, this Zorin OS. It's more modern and visually appealing out of the box, with smooth animations and a premium feel. The layout switcher lets you change desktops with one click, Windows like, macOS like, etc. It's especially welcoming for users who want something that looks fresh and contemporary. Pro unlocks additional premium layouts. If you love a traditional Windows 7, Windows 10 style desktop and deep tweaking, go with Mint. If you want modern aesthetics and quick style changes, Zorin wins. Now, about the performance and hardware compatibility. First, the Linux Mint. Generally lighter on resources. Cinnamon uses around 1.2 GB RAM at idle. Lighter editions like MAT or XFCE go as low as 400 to 800 MB. It's excellent for older or low spec hardware. Think like 4 to 8 GB RAM machines and delivers snappy performance. Now, Zorin OS. A bit heavier due to GNOME customizations and effects. Core Edition, which consumes 1.6 GB RAM on idle. It still runs great on modern hardware. And the Lite Edition helps on older PCs, but Mint edges it out for very low-end systems. Both offer solid hardware support thanks to Ubuntu's roots, including good NVIDIA or AMD drivers. Mint often feels more optimized for longevity on aging laptops. Now, about the software, updates, and Windows app support. Both come with essentials like LibreOffice, Firefox, or Brave in Zorin, media players, etc. Software management is easy via graphical stores. Mint prefers Flatpaks and disables snaps by default for philosophical reasons. Zorin supports both seamlessly. Windows apps. Zorin has a built-in layer with wine, bottles, and a database suggesting alternatives when you open .exe files. Mint requires more manual setup, but works fine with the same tools. Gaming. Both support Steam, Proton well. Zorin feels more ready to go. Mint offers strong performance on lighter hardware. Updates are stable and reliable in both. Mint emphasizes conservative, rock solid releases. Now, about the community, support, and other features. Linux Mint has massive, mature community with excellent forums, built-in time shift for easy backups, snapshots, very stable long term. Now, about the Zorin OS. Strong focus on Android phone integration, which is Zorin Connect, parental controls, and a helpful feedback tool. Active development with frequent visual improvements. Both are secure, ad-free, and respect your privacy. No telemetry like some commercial operating systems. Now, pros and cons summary. First, the Linux Mint pros. It's lightweight and efficient, especially on older hardware. Familiar classic interface with deep customization. Rock solid stability and large community. Free with no upsells. Now, about the Linux Mint cons. Less modern visuals out of the box. More manual setup for some Windows app features. Now, about the Zorin OS pros. Beautiful, polished, and highly welcoming for beginners. Easy layout switching and Windows app handling. Premium feel with pro upgrades. Great for modern hardware and aesthetics. Now, about the Zorin OS cons. Slightly higher resource use. Core features are free, but best experience may involve the paid pro version. Now, the final verdict and recommendation. You really can't go wrong with either. Both are outstanding for Windows switchers and everyday users. Choose Linux Mint if you want maximum performance on older or budget hardware, a classic Windows-like experience, long-term stability, and full control without extras. It's the safe, reliable choice for most people who just want their computer to work reliably. Choose Zorin OS if you are coming from Windows 10, 11, or Mac OS, and if you value a modern, polished interface, want minimal setup for Windows apps, and appreciate quick visual customization. It's especially great for beginners who want something that feels premium right away. Now, my personal take. For pure beginners on decent hardware, I'd start with Zorin OS. On older machines or for power users who like tweaking, Linux Mint is hard to beat. Try both, download the ISOs, test them live from a USB. They both support this and see what clicks for you. Linux is about choice. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which one are you leaning toward? Or what's your current setup? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.